Hey guys, Doc Pattison here, teaching pastor at Capital City Christian Church with a wrap-up of Core52, chapter 23, which focuses on the cross. Now here it is. Here's what Peter says to Jesus. You are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God. That may have been the best moment of Peter's life. Jesus says God himself had revealed that to him. And then, about 30 seconds later, one of the worst moments of Peter's life, when Jesus says to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." Jesus calls him Satan. What happened? That's the question that hangs over this remarkable Jesus story. Well, here's what happened. Right after Peter's confession, Jesus begins to explain, probably for the first time, very clearly, what his mission is actually going to look like. Jesus said he must go to Jerusalem. He must suffer. He must be killed. And on the third day, he will rise from the dead. Now, Peter hears it, but he can't quite process it. So he pulls Jesus aside and rebukes him. "Never, Lord. This shall never happen to you." Now, we get it. We understand what Peter's thinking. He believes Jesus is the Messiah. He's not doubting that. But Peter has a very different picture of what the Messiah is supposed to do. In Peter's mind, the Messiah conquers, the Messiah reigns, the Messiah doesn't die on a Roman cross. Peter expected a Messiah with a crown, not a cross. Victory without suffering, glory without sacrifice. And Jesus responds with some of the harshest words in the Gospels. You are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man. Because here's the truth that Peter could not see. The cross was not an accident. It was not a detour. The cross wasn't something that happened to disrupt Jesus' his ministry, his mission. The cross was the mission, always. God's plan for your redemption ran straight through Calvary. And nothing, not Peter's well-meaning protest, not the disciples' confusion, not the crowd's rejection, nothing could change that. And then Jesus turns to his disciples and says something that changes what Jesus following looks like for all the rest of us. He says, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, let him take up his own cross and follow me. 3 commands. You deny yourself. You take up your cross and follow me. Now, in the ancient world, a person carrying a cross was walking towards their own execution. Jesus is not talking about a bad week at work. He's describing the death of self, a daily surrender to your own agenda, your own comfort, your own claim on your life. What's that actually look like? Well, it may look like holding your tongue when you want to lash out. It may look like keeping on serving someone who will never say thank you. It may look like choosing faithfulness over convenience, choosing obedience over what feels good, choosing God's will even over your own. You see, most of us want to follow Jesus and hold on to control at the same time. We want the blessings without the surrender, the peace without the cost. Christianity, we want a Christianity that makes our lives better, but doesn't actually make us too uncomfortable. That was Peter's mistake. And if we're honest, it tends to be ours too. Then Jesus says something that sounds like it can't possibly be true. He says, whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Now, everything in our culture says that the path to a full life runs through self. You guard your comfort. You build your identity around what you achieve, what you accumulate, what others think of you. Jesus says that strategy ends in loss. And the person who may look foolish, the one who does surrender and serve and give themselves away for Jesus, that person will find the life they've been looking for all along. And then Jesus asks the question we need to take personally. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? So on the one side, everything this world offers, every success, pleasure, possession, achievement, reputation, comfort, the whole world. On the other side, your soul. Well, guys, your soul needs to win every time. And here's how we know. Here's the price tag that Jesus puts on the human soul. God sent His only Son to the cross to redeem it. That is what you are worth to God. That's the value He places on you. The cross tells us what God thinks of us. It tells us what sin cost. It tells us what real love looks like. Listen, guys, if it were just you, Jesus would still have chosen the cross. So here it is. The cross is where Jesus died to save you. That is finished. That is accomplished. Nothing you can do to add to it or take away from it. But the cross is also the path Jesus calls you to walk every day. Deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow Him. And when you give your life to Jesus, you don't lose anything that actually lasts. You find everything that you were created for. Guys, I'll see you next week.